the extraordinary thing about that incident at the end of the doubles, okay, maybe you can see how one player might make that mistake, but for both of them to make that mistake and neither of them realise what they were about to do, which proved so costly, is just inexplicable.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought the foul was called because the time ran out, and then to actually realise, even me or Phil never noticed it. But yeah, for both players to let that one slip, it's a huge error, and it cost them the point there.
Yeah, and hats off to Marcel Eckart of Germany, the referee, who spotted it and was very quick to point it out to Eklund Kachi, who, of course, on the opening night last year had that shirt foul, which was so pivotal in the opening team match. And back in 2021, that was what it all led to. The winning moments for the Americans, a surprise 2-0 lead for them. As we move into the first singles. Joshua Filler then against Shane Van Boening. A clash of generations. Two of the greatest players in the world.
Well, he did a lovely break off there, as we saw in that last doubles match. The breaks weren't just working for both teams actually, but it really did in that last rack. You know, you really want to be breaking and running if possible, and just they couldn't get the breaks going.
Yeah, and it's so hard to build any rhythm in either of the formats we've seen so far tonight, but this is a whole different situation, and both players will be aware now they've got to step up. I don't think anyone's going to win this singles match with the sort of mistakes and lack of fluency we've seen so far this evening, but it's been enthralling. Great reception for Joshua Filler. It was being led by his wife Pia. She was on her feet, clapping, singing along. Ooh, look at this!
Wow! Wow!
I think when this night is over, yeah, I was going to say, Kelly, when this night is over, we'll be able to write a novel about it. So much has gone on. And we've talked a lot about the crowds being back. These guys seem determined to give them their money's worth. Even when it looked so routine and so straightforward for Joshua Filler, we still got a bit of drama. But in the end, it's a break and run in the opening rack. Joshua Filler leads Shane Van Boening by 1 rack to 0. There is Pia Filler. Very good player herself, of course. She just loves the Mosconi Cup atmosphere. I think she was sitting with Darren Appleton earlier in the evening. From your part of the world, Kelly?
Indeed, yes, Pontefract. It's a small place, and for both of us to come from there is really quite a thing, really, to be honest. Darren, we know him very, very well from the Mosconi Cup. What a trooper he is, and what a phenomenal player, a legend, and always showed up 100,000,000% for them every Mosconi Cup. And I think he won a fair few. He was on the winning team a fair few times.
Saw a bit of a revival from him earlier in the year. So Shane Van Boening, well, he could have done about that, didn't get to the table. But what a big chance for him now. The Americans know, whatever happens, worst way, at the end of the evening it's 2-2, and I think at the start of the night they probably would have been quite happy with that. So everything from here on in now is bonus territory. If they can win one of these 2 final matches of the evening, they will lead
second rack
into day 2. Still a long way to go.
Trailing 1-0.
But when you're coming in as big outsiders as they did, really couldn't ask much more than that to lead overnight. Anyway, still a bit of work to do before they can get to that stage. He's seen it all before. He's seen victory and defeat in Mosconi Cups, but defeat far more often. He's only won 3 of the 14 he's been involved in.
Unusual mistake there by Shane, but you know, it's day one, the table's slicker. Just kind of slid like we've just seen there as well. He's playing very slidey. And them kind of tricky shots when you're playing a thin clip up the rail and trying to pull the cue ball down with spin as well. I can see that can happen.
I don't know whether he intended to. I think he did, but he threatened the 9. Do you think that's something the players are going to adjust to as the days go on, Kelly, or is it just so difficult that it's going to be a factor throughout the Mosconi Cup this year, the difficult table?
Well, we know we've got tight pockets and we've got a real slick cloth. I think the players will adjust, and you'll see the standard improve day by day.
Yeah, and I don't think we're complaining, because the sort of pool we've seen so far tonight is, in many ways, the essence of real tense Mosconi Cup action. Slipping around the back there. That could have gone wrong. One of the greatest players of all time, Shane Van Boening, but he's got a losing record in both singles and doubles. In fact, it's exactly the same in both formats. 16 wins, 21 defeats. And with that, very quickly, we find ourselves at 1 racket apiece.
Thank you, third rack. We all squared 1 rack each. Europe to break.
Filler to break then, rack 3.
Europe wins the rack.
Oh my!
It's a golden break!
A golden break! Wow. Let's see the replay on that one.
Well, we talked about the standard improving. You can't get any better than that. Carl Boyes, he's another man who's seen it all and done it all in Mosconi Cups. And Vice Captain can't help coming out to congratulate Joshua Filler. I don't think he noticed for a minute, Kelly. The reaction was a bit delayed.
He must have been watching the cue ball. I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, he was watching the cue ball.
And it's only when his compatriot Marcel Eckhart calls it that he suddenly realises what's happened. That's how it seems anyway. You need a bit of good fortune, of course, for a moment like that. So Joshua Filler leads Shane Van Boening 2 racks to 1. There's Pia. She is really loving that. There's Darren Appleton. And of course, veteran of the European scene himself, he will have absolutely loved that too. Well, this is just fantastic, isn't it, Kelly? The crowds missing last year. They've not been here in London, of course, for 3 years. But they are having an absolutely thrilling evening here. We've seen just about everything tonight, and there's still so much of it to go.
Who'd have thought on day one there was so much action and so many twists and turns. It's been an amazing night, and there is so much more to come.
Shane Van Boening, just look at that face. Nothing he could have done in that one. He's been around the Mosconi Cup a long time. He is itching to get to the table again. Try to throw a counter punch. Here it is again, the golden moment for the golden child of German pool. One of 6 players from his country to represent Europe in the Mosconi Cup over the years. Second only to England on the European side.
Thank you, settle down now please, the 4th rack.
High quality stuff so
USA to
far.
break, trailing by
What
2
response
racks
do
to
we
1.
get from Shane Van Boening?
Settle down please, thank you.
That would have topped it off if that cue ball would have flew off the table.
Ball went down. The ball went down.
It was Shane Van Boening who finally brought down the curtain on the USA's run of 8 defeats in a row here in this very arena 3 years ago when he beat Alex Kazakis, clinching it with a 1-9 combination, in fact, to win in 2018. He said afterwards he'd never felt so much pressure in his whole life. He played 11 Mosconi Cups before that and only been on the winning team once. Just in case anyone isn't entirely clear about it, we use the term golden break to describe what Filler did. It's basically when you pop the 9-ball off the break. Kicked in by the 7. Can't plan for a moment like that. You'll love it when it happens to you.
Extension, please.
What's he facing here, Kelly?
You mean apart from the screams?
I meant on the table.
On the table, yes. Well, it's tricky. He needs to come up with a nice safety here. I think he's obviously going to thin clip it and try and get the cue ball. Oh. See, I didn't even see that went there, Michael. Did you?
Well, it was an ambitious one to take on. I took too far away with it in the end, but how slow is it going to be now? I got the one in, but I don't have control over what the cue ball does then. I didn't fancy it.
The table is playing really nice and fast there. I thought it was going to leave Shane a shot, but it kept rolling, so.
Yeah, difficult to judge the pace on a shot like that, and the cloth is playing as it is this evening. The way they're sitting, Kelly, to fancy whoever wins this little duel on the one. In a very strong position in this rack.
Yes, it's a nice open table.
Getting a lovely length in that sort of shot. He's gone for the combination. And consequently left that chance. Oh, how is that three not dropped, Kelly?
I have no idea, Michael. You wouldn't think it was possible with the speed that it hit it.
That the cue ball still spinning seems to be right up against the three. You would imagine it would get in somehow.
I do know these tables have a deep shelf, but didn't expect it to be that deep.
So finally, it's Filler who wins that little tussle in the one. There's a chance here to open a bit of breathing space for the first time in this match.
That one ball was a beautiful cue ball control, coming around the two angles and leaving himself perfect on the two.
Yeah, absolutely. It backs up what we were saying earlier, that he's having to judge the pace, and the cue ball's travelling quite a distance. He's handling it very well, adjusting nicely to the cloth that so many others have struggled with. But that's not ideal.
Anywhere but there, and he's got an open shot.
Extension, please.
Now it's just about making sure you make the pot.
Yeah, I knew that if he did that, he'd have a shot on the 6 in all probability. You could see there how hard it was to get any sort of grip on the cue ball. Bridging over the 8.
Well, Joshua's looking good. He's looking the most confident out of all the team members I've seen yet. And when he's confident and he starts flying, it's very difficult to stop him.
Yeah, he's a real momentum player. And Europe are in need of getting some momentum up and running in this contest. Coming into this first singles match, Filler so far is delivering. He's had a golden break along the way, and he leads Shane Van Boening by 3 racks to 1. Opening night at Alexandra Palace, and Santa is in the house. But Joshua Filler, on the other hand, is giving nothing away this Christmas so far. He's very much on top here against Shane Van Boening. Rack 4 that we saw just before the break is the first to be won in this match against the break. So Filler starts us off now in Rack 5 in a very strong position as he looks to get Europe's first point on the board. Oh, look where that one's come out to. It was always the thing though, wasn't it, Kelly? Straightforward pot. It wasn't guaranteed anything in terms of position, but possible 2-4 combo here?
Yeah, I think we'll see him go for this.
Settle down, please. Calm down a bit, yeah?
I think with the one ball, he was playing the cue ball into the 2-4. He's just overhit that. He was wanting to leave it the 2 into the side. And now it's quite an awkward because the side pocket's actually in the way.
I mentioned he hasn't quite built on the dominant position he seemed to be getting into a few years ago, but still been a good year for Filler this year. He won the European Championship Nineball just a few weeks ago for the first time in Turkey. And of course he was part of the Germany side with Christoph Reunches, which won the World Cup. Only the second time ever. He also won the US Straight Pool Championship at Virginia Beach in October, so although he disappointed a bit in the US Open and the World Championship, the very biggest individual events, he's still been racking up successes this season, and he's keeping Van Boening under pressure here.
He also won the Bigfoot 10-ball championship in Virginia Beach that same week as the straight pool championship. So that was a good week for him.
It's often the way with these events, isn't it? As you'll know only too well, Kelly. You get a lot of different tournaments and a lot of prizes on offer in the one trip and in the same week. An incredible finish to that 9-ball final, the European Championship against Sanjin Pelovanovic of Bosnia. He was 8-7 down and it looked to be all over. Pelovanovic had potted the 8-ball, but started celebrating straight after it. With a simple 9 for the match, missed it. Filler made it 8-all, and then with his opponent looking shell-shocked, he cruised through the final rack.
Yes, that was a brutal 9-ball that Sanjin missed, and you were right, Michael, there about him celebrating too quickly. That cost him for sure.
And what does that shot cost Filler here? Big moments these for Boening. Can't let his opponent get away from him.
I think he should have played a nice safety shot there, keeping Shane out of the game and under pressure. But it's okay to say that when he misses, because fella goes for them, very confident player, and makes them 9 out of 10.
So a crucial rack for Van Boening. Would have been a big ask from 4-1 down, but he's hanging on here. Lost the last rack on his own break. But he's won this one on Filler's break. Van Boening closes into 3-2. Now, what's better than hearing from one pool star from Pontefract Hearing from two of them, Darren Appleton is with Michael Bridge.
Darren Appleton, absolutely delighted to see you here at Alexandra Palace, my friend. You played in plenty of these. Is it more nerve-wracking watching them?
A little bit, yeah, Mike. A little bit worried for Team Europe right now. I think the Americans look really sharp. I think they've surprised everyone with the way they've come out. And the European team look a little bit like edgy compared to the Americans. So early signs is that, looking from a fan's point of view, I think the Americans look stronger than Europe right now.
And this match going on now, this is like a proper pay-per-view pool match. So Joshua Filler's had a great start.
Yeah, I mean, this match is massive for Joshua. That last rack there was big. I think he played the wrong shot in my opinion, but that's just me. But it's vital that Europe win this point. If Europe don't win this point, then the Americans are guaranteed to go into the lead after day one, and that really puts them, makes a, because we're all coming here thinking that Europe's going to win easy, and pull, anything can happen. You know yourself, you've seen a lot of pull now, anything can happen.
Finally, you love America, you lived there a long time. Tell us how much it means to them as well, because it's been disrupted, their plans, isn't it? But they've had a fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, obviously, like the old situation's like really sad, but the good thing with the Americans, they'll complain and they'll have their cry, but no matter what, when it comes to the crunch, they get behind the team. And you can guarantee now, after the start they've made today, they're all watching back home.
We are watching here as well. Let's rejoin the match. Shane Van Boening against Josh Filler.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Darren Appleton, of course, reminded us all earlier in the year, Kelly, he can still play a bit.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Darren's a great player, and he actually just the other day, this weekend, just gone, he won the GB9 tournament. So that was a nice little win for him under his belt.
So Van Boening has come up dry and has to depart the table with a very appealing prospect facing Filler here. Alex Lely said, as European captain in the run-up to this Mosconi Cup, that Filler doesn't shy away from the intensity of it all. He painted a picture of someone who leads the team and getting into the right frame of mind and doesn't shy away from things. And Europe really needed him to deliver in this match after the start to the evening they'd had. There's been much more expected of him than what he's produced so far.
Well, I think he'll be wanting that cue ball a little further away from that rail, but nothing that he cannot handle, I'm sure.
Uncomfortably close to the 7.
Extension, please.
Oh, this is a massive shot.
Put everything into the pot because of where the 8 is. And a sense of inevitability about how this one is going to turn out now. It's going to result in Filler moving to the hill. So 3 racks in a row go against the break. And what it all means is that Joshua Filler leads Shane Van Boening 4-2. He's closing in on Europe's first point. Slightly different look on the faces of some of the Europeans we saw there, Kelly. They were looking quite tense about half an hour ago, but I think they're reassured by what they're seeing from their man here.
Yeah, they've definitely had a rocky start, especially that doubles match was, I don't know, it was strangest game with so many errors that you don't expect. So yeah, of course, I'm just so happy to get the momentum going and get some points on the board and get our first win under the belt.
That was the key shot we just saw there, the 7. He run himself into a little bit of difficulty. The way he's been playing, you would always have fancied him to get out of it, and he did. Classic Joshua Filler, and the first dry break of the match has proved to be very costly indeed for Shane Van Boening. It's the last action of the evening for both of them. Thea Filler rocking out, and why not, the way her man is playing.
And the little boy behind her, that's Natasha Jason Shaw's sister's little boy. There's Natasha there, it's Jason Shaw's sister with the other little boy on the other side.
I'll tell you, they've certainly learned how to be part of a Mosconi crowd. Could be a struggle getting them up for school in the morning.
You must have the week off, Michael.
Thank you, rack number 7. Good to break.
Here we go then, Joshua Filler playing so well here, leading 4-2, and with the break on the hill. But he's dry as well.
That 9 was moving again. I was keeping my eye on that this time.
Joshua wasn't keeping an eye on it himself when he had the golden break. But he's had a bit of fortune here with the 1.
Well, so far they've both had 1 dry break each, whereas what we saw in the last match, I'm thinking there was 4 or 5 or 6 possible.
Something like that,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Frustration for Van Boening there. The ball sitting lovely, but he couldn't get to the 1. He looks to have played a decent safety instead.
There's that cue ball.
Ooh, just survived. He's been flirting with the scratches a few times in this match.
Entirely sure what he was playing
Settle
there.
down, please. Calm down a bit, guys.
There's not a lot
it's getting
he
too
could
loud.
have done. It's a beautiful shot.
Very little Van Boening can do here, and of course he's in that classic horrible position of knowing, particularly when you look at the way they're sitting, if he can't figure a way out of this conundrum, could be his last act of the evening.
Extension, please.
Still 1 more match to come, of course. That will be the doubles. Jason Shaw and David O'Cady against Skylar Woodward and the stand-in Jeremy Jones.
Foul shot.
That really has gone so badly wrong. And Van Boening now
Start the clock, please.
is probably expecting that the next time he gets out of his chair will be to leave the arena.
He didn't miss it by too far, but just as speedy it is, straightened up more than he had judged for off that top rail.
Filler is such a clinical character. Put him in a position like this, when he's got any sort of rhythm going, and he'll very, very rarely miss. I remember in particular his US Open win in Las Vegas almost 3 years ago now. He was just ruthless. Exploited every opportunity, every slight error.
Great player to watch when he's flowing. It's like watching magic on the table.
He's using that cue like a wand now. Alex Lely, Carboys, the brains trust of the European team. Looking a lot more relaxed now. What a finish we're going to have to the evening. If Filler can finish this off, and final doubles will be to decide whether USA lead overnight or Europe can get back on terms. But still a little bit of business to be taken care of here. I think Filler's smile says it all though. Taken them a while, almost 3 hours since we started playing. But Europe have finally got their first point on the board as Joshua Filler, the former world champion,